Hi there, it's Dark Shades, aka Blackbright News. I'm dedicating this video and it's called There's Nothing Going On But the Rent. And the reason why I'm titling that is because I believe that Gwen Guthrie's track, which came out in 1986, was a catalyst to change of the women's attitude. Because before then, women were kind of still with men, putting up with a lot of stuff with men and so forth. And I think when that track came out, I remember people going out saying, oh, you got to have a J-O-B if you want to be with me, and all that kind of stuff. And depending on who they were partnered up with, that then became a criteria. Now, some people may look at me and they might think, oh God, it's all happening for her. Or they might even see me as supercilious or self-righteous. I don't claim to be any of those things because, to be honest, I came from a background of pain and betrayal. And sometimes when you come from that background, you don't realize how much you internalize. And sometimes when you have been hurt or you have been betrayed, it goes into your psyche and into subconscious, and so you start enacting behaviors which translate into lack of tolerance, mistrust, and all of those things. So you end up being very wary about when you get into relationships, and I think a lot of women are like that. So yeah, our parents, like I said in previous videos, they had a goal and they had a motive. And a lot of their goals was simply to raise their family and their children and to get a home, which they needed each other. They needed each other to do that with. And so they persevered through all of those trials. So yeah, they're men. I know my mum said my dad cheated on her, and I know she had a lot of problems that she had to kind of tackle head on and deal with it. And because her end goal was to have a house and pay off the mortgage and to just see her children on a steady plane, she did put up with all of that stuff. But what's happening now is that a lot of the men that the majority of the working class or below are dealing with, they're not in a position to help them achieve their goals. And so not only do you have men that are not in a position to help them achieve their goals, they are still expecting the same standard of loyalty that our parents did when they had somebody who did help them achieve their goals. So it's a difficult situation. So females, don't think I'm, turning my back on you or think that I'm all for the men. It's not about that. It's about trying to resolve this issue, which seems to be getting worse and worse. If only we could bring back marriage and stronger families, everything would be hunky-dory. But the damage of individuals, both men and women, psychologically, how are we going to do that? How are we going to build up that trust again? How are we going to, on both sides? How is a man going to, because I know when a man meets a woman, his foundation or his role model is usually his mother, who sticks with him whatever he does. He can do anything and his mother will still take him back like the prodigal son. But what happens is that they expect that same loyalty from the women they meet. So they expect to be able to go off and do what they want and come back and not really support the female, but want the same benefits. And that is where the retaliation has come in. That is where the resentment has come in. And that is where, men feel betrayed because women haven't stuck by them through thick and thin, in sickness and in health, and all that palaver, whether married or not. And women are showing lack of tolerance because they've been there before. They're fed up. You know, I can see both sides. But what do we do about that? You know, is it too late to do something about that? That's what I want to know. What was I going to say? Yeah, I think... Yeah, oh, one other thing I was going to say. You know, women, we've become lazy. When I say lazy, lazy in looking after our men. Now, we're okay when it goes to going to work. We give 100% when we go to work. We may give, well, we don't give 100% because you have to leave some percentage for the home and the children and your spouse. But majority of their loyalty is to their jobs. And I know for a fact that sometimes if someone says to me, oh, Myrna, can I come up and see you? First thing I'm thinking of, oh my God, that means I've got to cook, it means I've got to prepare, you know, because that is my mother's teaching. Never invite somebody over unless you're going to prepare something for them. And she, in those days, it was always a meal. And so I inherited that. So when somebody says they're going to visit, my first instinct is I'm going to have to prepare. And then sometimes I don't want to go to the shop and go and prepare. I don't want to have to make food and stuff like that. And it's not like, you know, sometimes you could say, okay, why don't you say, okay, let's go out and have something to eat. Could do that. But the same token, you know, it's like, you know, you get lazy and complacent. And a lot of women are getting lazy and complacent. They don't want to wash and cook and clean for their man anymore. You know, for me personally, if my man is my husband, I will go to the ends of the earth and I will do everything for him. But if a man is not my husband, I just feel as though, am I going to be investing all of this time and all of this effort and then only to have them disrespect me in the long run or see me as an easy ride, because that becomes your experience. You know, I've found, you know, that, well, I can't say all men, but some men, when you are kind to them and loving and you demonstrate all of these, not wifely duties, but, you know, you do what you feel a woman should do. And then you find that they take advantage. They take the piss. You know what I mean? And it becomes irritating. And it's not like it happens like on a daily basis. But the fact of the matter is that your efforts are not appreciated. And when you do have other things, like when you are working full time, or when you are looking after children, or when you do have projects to do, and you sacrifice or you compromise doing what you would really like to do to look after your man, and then they don't appreciate it, it's hard. So you've got women who are coming from a place where they have sacrificed and they have compromised, and now they're in a place where they're thinking, why am I bothering? What's in it for me? What am I getting out of it? And like I said, not every man is in a position to offer. You know, they don't even want to cut your grass. It's not like even that it's a financial thing sometimes. Sometimes it's just like, oh, they come to see you and they see that the weeds are there and they say, oh, you know, let me do that for you. Or they say a light broken. They say, let me fix that for you. So when a woman sees a man who is going to support her in some way, they can say, oh, yeah, well, he is offering something. He can add value to this relationship. But the majority of men don't do that. They come in, kick back and wait for something to eat. They think, you know, having sex with you is all there is to it. And, you know, talking to you, and that, you know, and because there is this percentage or this rush or this perception that there's a shortage of men, they really believe that they don't have to make an effort. So a lot of them don't make an effort. They don't put on any cologne anymore. They don't dress up anymore. They don't, bring flowers, some of them, or wine or whatever. They just show up and expect. And then they get peed off when women react in a certain way. So all I'm saying is that it works both ways. Women are not desperate. And I think in their fight to show that they're not desperate, men call them independent. But it's not independence, it's self-sufficiency and self-protection. Because maybe we have made wrong choices. Maybe we should be sitting there waiting for doctors and lawyers and teachers like our mothers have taught us. My mother always said to me, Myrna, find yourself a doctor, a lawyer, or a teacher. I never understood why. I just thought, oh, my mum's being, fussy, so to speak. That's what I used to think. But what indirectly she was saying, and that's the thing with our parents, they're not direct with their messages when they're trying to teach us something. What she was trying to say to me is that if you marry a doctor or a lawyer or a teacher, they'll be able to provide for you and you won't have to struggle. But instead, oh no, rebellious me. I'm not even going to go into that. But anyway, all I'm saying is that it's a two-way street. And what can we do to resolve it? The damage has been done. A lot of us are hurt. A lot of us are still hurting. A lot of us are carrying pain. We don't know we're carrying pain. We only know we're carrying pain when we show lack of tolerance, when somebody says something to us and we snap and we realise we're being passive aggressive. That's when we know. But like Gwen Guthrie said, there's nothing going on but the rent. And what she's trying to say is that it's not, we need support. It needs to be a two-way street. We need to be supporting each other. You need to be helping us and we need to be supporting you, so that both people feel as though they don't feel as though they're getting the short end of the stick. And like I said, it's not all about money. It's about coming in, seeing what can be done as a man that females are not so savvy at, and doing it. Not saying, oh, you're independent, you said you wanted feminism, you're independent, so you can do this, you can do that, go and do it your bloody self. It's not about that. Anyway, I can see this is getting out of hand, so I've got to calm myself down and say bye for now.